Hello friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Sophia and I am a freelancer in film and TV. I am actually currently down south. I'm working on a different job at the moment and I am filming this on the 1st of November. So we're well into a new month and I wanted to take you through my spreadsheet on how I went in October and then also how I'm, planning ahead to November for budgeting. So let's get right into it. As always, just a little disclaimer, this is purely for educational and entertainment purposes and I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Okay, so I've got my laptop here and we're going to go into October. So I will share my screen with you. I've got this incredible spreadsheet that I've been using for years now to track all of my income, expenses, absolutely everything. I'm obsessed with it and I've got it linked down below if you are interested in using this spreadsheet. It's not my own, it's made by someone else, but it is absolutely incredible and yeah, I've been using it for years, so I really can vouch for it as being a great spreadsheet to capture all the information that you might need to have for proper budgeting. So let's take a look at October. This was a really lucrative month because I was essentially paid for weeks that I'd worked in September in October, so it's a lot more than what I would normally be paid. And there's a lot of savings because I received a really large tax return in the month before and I was sort of still being able to save a bunch of money from this big tax return. So going into it, my overall income was $16,239.70. I saved $14,000 of that and I only spent $3,090. So overall it does look like I'm in a negative, but that's because I still had some surplus money that I could save from the big tax return. And then coming down, my income sources were bank interest, some dividends. I reinvest all my dividends, so this isn't, money into my bank account, but I really love to track it so that I can sort of see over the year how much I earn in dividends. Per diem, so because I'm away for work at the moment, we get per diems, which is, allowances for breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you're working away from home, so I just save all of those. I was taxed almost $4,000 and then one of my jobs, which I've just hidden, I got $485. That was for some freelance work that I did for them. And then I got just over $9,000 for the job that I'm currently on, but that was of course, that's net, net minus the tax. And that is including some work that I did in September. So generally it's not going to be this much each month. And then I got $35 in referrals. So I did a video about Raiz on TikTok and I think a lot of people signed up using my referral link. So that's great because I've just been enjoying tracking that. Coming over to our savings, this was a big month for saving. I put a lot into my house account because my partner and I are really thinking about buying a house in the next, 12 months, I guess. I invested $4,500, which is enormous. Very happy with that considering I had a few months this year that were pretty low. Holidays, $3,850. That's a lot towards holidays because I've obviously used a lot of that when I went to Spain. So I'm just topping that back up. Car expenses, Christmas and gifts, personal care fund, insurance and shopping, and then I'm also saving for my boyfriend's 30th because that's next year and I don't know what we're gonna do, but I feel like it will end up costing a bit with whatever I end up getting for him. So I just want to put some money aside to prepare for, whether we do a party or like go away or I don't know. Anyway, so I'm thinking ahead. And then bills were all pretty standard for October, which is awesome. We did get our electricity bill, but there was a rebate that came in effect. So it was a lot cheaper than what our bill actually was, which was good. And then $49 for the accountant. I can't remember what this was for. I think it was, it's for like a coin, what are they called? I always forget what they're called, the coins. Anyway, it tracks that. And then some subscriptions. So that's for Microsoft, I'm pretty sure is the bulk of that one. So that's just like a one-off yearly subscription that I just track. Expenses, I didn't spend much on fuel because I get reimbursed for work. So 92 of that was, you know, my personal use. Groceries was almost 500 because I'm obviously cooking dinner for myself, making it, and I don't have Wes down here like cooking, like making meals for me or buying like groceries as well. So it's sort of just on me to, you know, pay for everything for myself down here. Eating out was almost $300, so that was a bit much that month, but I did have a lot of nice little, like, you know, treats at cafes and whatnot. Shopping, I bought a bunch of things. Like I bought some new jeans, some overalls, some shoes which are yet to come. I bought a dress for a wedding or an elopement that I went to. So they were all sort of just fun purchases, and I don't really regret that because they're all really nice quality things. $95. I can't remember what this was on. I don't think it was a haircut, or maybe it was a haircut, or anyway, unsure. Chiropractor, alcohol, $20. That was just buying a bottle of wine for a friend. Uber and transport, that was for the elopement. And then parking, gifts, $21.50. That was also buying some flowers for a friend, the same person as well. And then some books. I did buy 2 new books this month. One was actually Audible, so it was a free month subscription, and then I bought a different book that was $18.99. So overall, my expenses for October, like variable expenses, I'm not too sad about. They were $1,656, so pretty high because of obviously the shopping, but that's pretty abnormal for me to spend that much on shopping in 1 month. So yeah, not too bad. Moving across to November, this is where it gets kind of fun because I can sort of plan out what I'm thinking for the month in terms of, you know, where I can put my money and whatnot. Okay, so sorry, I had to stop there for a second. Let's get into November and let's look at what I'm sort of predicting for my income, and then also when it comes to my expenses. So I will record my screen. Coming into the month, my income, I'm predicting sort of like 11.5 grand. That's gross. This could definitely be a bit more if I get like overtime for the work that I'm doing. Just for context, I work as a production coordinator, and my weekly salary is pretty good. So if I do work overtime, it's, you know, paid quite well. And we do obviously get paid overtime. And then also, not this week coming, but the week after, we're actually doing full night shoots and we get paid night loadings. So that's going to be absolutely dreadful and exhausting, but we obviously get compensated for that, which is very good. So coming into this month, I predict I'll get about 300. It'll probably be a little bit less depending on how much I put into my savings of bank interest. Dividends were never big for November, and then per diems, $2,366, tax about $2,660 in tax, and then $6,000 in income. Roughly, it'll probably be a bit more than this. And then I just put in $10 of referrals because who knows, I might get another referral. Coming over to savings, I think I'm gonna estimate about 1.5 grand in my house savings because I'm really trying to fill that up. Investments, I try to invest $2,000 a month minimum, so we'll just keep it at 2,000. Holiday, I will definitely probably end up saving 1,000 into holiday potentially. Car expenses 100, Christmas and gifts 100. I think that might be it for now for the savings. Maybe West 30th is 100. Okay, coming across to bills. So I've got $850 for rent. Unfortunately, I still have to pay for rent even while I'm away. And then all the other bills are pretty standard, I think, at this point. I do know, if I come across to here, I do know that my Raiz fee has gone up to $550, so I do need to change that. So that Raiz fee is $550. Oh, actually, that's not right. I need to come across to November, so that's $550 now instead. So I've just updated that in the yearly spreadsheet portion of bills. Coming across to November. Okay, so internet will probably be pretty similar, although this bill has actually gone up a little bit. So I feel like it might be more than this, but we're going to try and negotiate and see if we can get a better deal or just switch companies, because I'm not home as often, so it's pretty pointless for us to even have internet at home. Health insurance will be pretty stock standard, my phone bill, and then Adobe Creative Suite. This has also gone up, I think, to $20, but I haven't yet updated that in my spreadsheet, so I'll just put in the correct amount whenever that gets billed. Apple Care, I still pay for this, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to pay for Apple Fitness, so I will add that into my spreadsheet. Where have we got it? That'll be $14.99 in November, and I really enjoy Apple Fitness because it's where I do my running workouts, and I just do follow along running workouts at the gym because I'm just signed up to like a 24-hour gym, not like a class. So I really like following along, but I have also recently signed up for Ladder and doing their like 7-day free trial. So we'll see how that goes, because that app interface is like top notch. It's so nice. If I have a referral, I'll leave it down below in case you want to sign up as well. And then what else have I got? I'm pretty sure my other subscriptions should be pretty minor for this month. Okay, coming into fuel, I don't foresee that I'll actually need to spend much of my own money, because I'm now getting an allowance for my car on this job, which is awesome. So that will pretty much cover me for all of my fuel. So I won't actually need to buy any fuel this month. I'll put $4.50 in for groceries, household items, probably $0. Eating out, let's put $300, because let's be realistic, I'm in a beautiful region. The Southwest has so many great restaurants, so I'll probably eat out a bit. Let's be honest. Shopping, I think I'll put $100, because I have been buying some things recently, and I'm just trying to be realistic. When I have more income, I do tend to, buy nice things that I've been wanting for a while. So I might do that. Personal care, I can't imagine I'll spend anything. I imagine I probably will end up buying some more Naked Harvest this month, because I have run out of my creatine and my collagen, and my protein powder will probably run low by the end of this month. So I'll probably end up spending $80 or more. We'll budget $80 for now, because they might have like a good Black Friday sale or something. Pilates, I reckon I'm gonna sign up for a 2-week free unlimited trial at one of the Pilates studios here, which is about $70 or $69. But we'll see how we go. I'm not really sure if it just depends on my schedule, because my hours are so weird and they don't always align with the studio schedule of actually being able to go to a class. I don't think I'll be able to go to the chiropractor this month. Pharmacy, I don't think I'll need anything. Alcohol, probably, I never sort of like intentionally plan to buy alcohol. It's just only if I end up purchasing some when I'm, out and about, which I might, but we'll see. We try to not to. Uber and transport, $0, because there aren't any Ubers down here. So I really don't foresee having to use one. And I don't have any like big plans on the weekends yet to go out and, drink heaps and need a taxi or an Uber. I shouldn't need to spend any money on my car. And then parking, you don't have to pay for parking down here, which is great. Travel and accom, don't need that, because I'm, being put up for work, which is amazing. This house is really nice. I quite like it. And yeah, I'm not traveling because I'm working. So I won't be able to actually go on a proper holiday until I think July next year. I might be able to do like a short holiday either over Christmas, New Year, or in the Easter break that we have. Otherwise, I will not be traveling or spending any money on travel until July, which is crazy, because depending on how my next job lines up after July, I can either take a holiday or whether I'll have another job, I'll have to see. Gifts, November. I might put $50 in here, because I just don't know how I might buy some like presents for work colleagues and stuff, but there aren't any people in my close proximity that have birthdays this month, which is good. I don't need to go to the dentist. I've currently got 2 books on the go. I'm reading Onyx Storm with Audible, like on my way into work and home each day. So that's like 30 minutes of driving that I get to listen to that. And then I'm currently reading Heartless by Elsie Silver on my Kindle. So I might buy a new book when I finish that, because I imagine I will finish that pretty soon because I'm over halfway through. Donations, probably nothing. And I always just like, if I want to donate, I will. Events or activities, probably nothing. I can't really think of anything that's coming up this month, but there could be an event here or there down here that I do with friends, but nothing planned at this stage. Financial, and then I've also paused ClassPass for 2 months because down here there just isn't anything on ClassPass, so I'll just save that for when I'm back in Perth, so I won't need that. Pretty much nothing. So I feel like my expenses for the month should hopefully be just over $2,000. They might end up being a little bit more, but this is sort of my conservative budgeting of the month and what I sort of want to spend going into this month. The good thing about working so much is that I actually don't have time to spend any money. So I'm not buying lunches out every day because I'm at an office that's like not convenient to buy lunches, and I'm packing my lunch. And also I leave for work at, sometimes at most days at 7:30, and I don't get home until, 7:30, 8 p.m. So there's no time to spend money, which is awesome. But obviously online shopping is a little bit of a temptation. But anyway, I think November should be a pretty good month, and I really just see it as like a good opportunity to keep building wealth and building my investment portfolio. And I did actually, I will do a bit of a net worth update because I've hit a huge milestone, which is really exciting. So I'll just pull up my spreadsheet that I use for all of my tracking of my net worth, because I do that every single, on the last day of every month, or I actually did it this morning. I will go through all of my accounts and calculate, where they're at, and then I'll put them in the spreadsheet and calculate my net worth, which is essentially all of your assets that you own minus your liabilities, so any debts that you have. So for the month of October, or the end of October, my total investments, which includes superannuation and my main investment portfolios, and also Raiz and Spaceship, which are micro investment platforms, my total investments for October are sitting at $147,479, which is amazing. Love that. That's actually up almost 10 grand from last month. So interest and that compound growth is really amazing. And then I also have a lot of cash as well at the moment, because I'm obviously saving for a house, so I have that in a high interest savings account for the most part. So my cash is sitting at about $85.5 thousand, which is insane. Such a huge number, but I do have a lot in sinking funds. I have an emergency fund, which is $10,000. So, it's all in places that I really need it. And then coming down, so my total assets for October are $233,239. So enormous. We've definitely well surpassed the 200K mark for assets, which is amazing. And my liabilities, just my HEX debt, and my HEX debt is currently sitting at $64,751. So that will actually go down in either November or December by 20%, because the government is applying the 20%, taking 20% off everyone's HEX debt, which is amazing. It's going to help a lot, I think, because it'll bring it down to, I think 50 something thousand, which is just a bit of a nicer number. And will also obviously help with my net worth. So going down to my net worth as of October, it is sitting at $168,488. So my goal for this year was to hit 150K net worth, and I have jumped past that. Last month I was at 143,000, and this month I'm at 168,000. So huge jump in the past month, because I obviously had my big tax return. I'm now working full time, so I've got a good amount of income, and I'm just really aggressively saving and investing. So yeah, we love to see that growth for the end of the year. So I'm very excited to see what I sort of hit at the end of December for my sort of final number for 2025. So that was sort of my recap for how I'm sort of feeling about November going into the month. I'm really hoping that I can just continue really focusing on saving and investing and not spending too much money, because I'm really in I guess for the next like 10 months, I'm in a growth period where I can, you know, channel money into investments and saving and look towards, you know, buying a house or doing something kind of huge and taking that next step, which is really exciting. So we'll see where we go with that. But overall, I think I just want to focus on, you know, maintaining some work-life balance, because it can be really hard on these jobs to have work-life balance. Obviously continuing with my fitness, my nutrition, and just being overall as healthy as I can when we're working these long, you know, 11, 12-hour days. So yeah, I am looking forward to the next month ahead. I will be on this same job for pretty much the rest of November, which is awesome. So very nice to be down here, very grateful to be getting per diems, because, you know, that helps go towards like all my groceries pretty much for the month, plus some, plus I save them. So yeah, I always put them into a sinking fund, like straight out of my paycheck, so I can track sort of exactly how many per diems I've been getting. And then at the end of each job, I will put that towards something bigger, whether that's like an investment or like a holiday or something. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye friends.